Best of luck in the opener.
In Aqueduct's first race, quarter-inch bend shoes on 3, 4, and 5. Bends for 3, 4, and 5. We have exacta, trifecta, superfecta, double pick 3, and pick 5 wagering. Main track is fast. Right now we have 8 minutes to post. The horses are coming onto the track for the first race. It'll be run at 1 mile, quarter-inch bends on 3, 4, and 5. Because of the cold weather, abbreviated post parades today. Right now we have 3 minutes to the opener. One minute to post. 1 minute. The horses are approaching the starting gate. Waiting for Roz and Banks a Million. Set for the opener. And they're off. It's False Hope and Banks a Million going out for the lead, and those two are quickly joined by Roz. And on the inside, it is a Frosty Invasion. Roz and Frosty Invasion, and now they're 1-2. With False Hope sitting just off them in third. Right the check gains ground. Far outside, it's Banks a Million. Down at the rail, it's Kara's Daydreamer, who runs in sixth. Lady of Thoriton is seventh, and Beautiful Banks is the trailer in eighth. 5.5 lengths separating the field. The leader, Frosty Invasion, through a quarter in 23 and 4/5 seconds. It is Frosty Invasion getting clear now to lead by almost 2 lengths. Right the check moves through on the inside of Roz, and those two are heads apart second and third. Lady of Thoriton has now gained some ground and is up into fourth. False Hope is in between horses. Banks a Million's on the outside. At the back of the pack are Beautiful Banks and Kara's Daydreamer. Opening half mile in 48 and 3/5 seconds. It is Frosty Invasion by a half length with first-time starter Roz on the outside in second. Now Lady of Thoriton up into third. Right the check down towards the rail, runs in fourth as they come for the quarter pole. It is Frosty Invasion with the lead. Roz, Lady of Thoriton on the extreme outside. The field is in the stretch. It is Frosty Invasion. Roz in between horses. Lady of Thoriton on the outside. Lady of Thoriton has now taken the lead. It's Lady of Thoriton clear now by 2.5 lengths. Frosty Invasion battles on to hold second. And then it is Roz in third. They're coming on for the finish, and it will be Lady of Thoriton to take the Saturday opener. Frosty Invasion was second, and then Roz and Right the Check. Number 2, Lady of Thoriton, was first. Number 3, Frosty Invasion, second. Number 4, Roz was third. Number 7, Right the Check, finished fourth. These results unofficial: 2, 3, 4, and 7. And the time was 1 minute 44 and 1/5 seconds. Number 2 is Lady of Thoroton, 3-year-old bay filly by Noble Mission. Out of Pleasant Cat by Tail of the Cat. Lady of Thoroton is owned by Beast Mode Racing, trained by Robert Falcone Jr. and the rider, Dylan Davis. Lady of Thoroton was bred in New York by Empire Equines, LLC. Race 1 official, the exact at $12.10. Trifecta pays $22.75. And the Superfecta, $23.77. Race 2, no changes. We have exacta, Quinella, Trifecta, Superfecta, double pick 3 and pick 4 wagering. 21 minutes to post at $12.50. And they're off. It's False Hope and Banks a Million going out for the lead, and those two are quickly joined by Roz. And on the inside, it is a Frosty Invasion. Roz and Frosty Invasion, and now they're 1-2. With False Hope sitting just off them in third. Right the check gains ground. Far outside, it's Banks a Million. Down at the rail, it's Kara's Daydreamer, who runs in sixth. Lady of Thoroton is seventh, and Beautiful Banks is the trailer in eighth. 5.5 lengths separating the field. The leader, Frosty Invasion, through a quarter in 23 and 4/5 seconds. It is Frosty Invasion getting clear now to lead by almost 2 lengths. Right the check moves through on the inside of Roz, and those two are heads apart, second and third. Lady of Thoroton has now gained some ground and is up into fourth. False Hope is in between horses. Banks a Million's on the outside. At the back of the pack are Beautiful Banks and Kara's Daydreamer. Opening half mile in 48 and 3/5 seconds. It is Frosty Invasion by a half length with first-time starter Roz on the outside in second. Now Lady of Thoroton up into third. Right the check down towards the rail, runs in fourth as they come for the quarter pole. It is Frosty Invasion with the lead. Roz, Lady of Thoroton on the extreme outside. The field is in the stretch. It is Frosty Invasion. Roz in between horses. Lady of Thoroton on the outside. Lady of Thoroton has now taken the lead. It's Lady of Thoroton clear now by 2.5 lengths. Frosty Invasion battles on to hold second. And then it is Roz in third. They're coming on for the finish, and it will be Lady of Thoroton to take the Saturday opener. Frosty Invasion was second, and then Roz and Right the Check.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit nairabets.com.
Blood Horse Plus, available through bloodhorse.com, provides exclusive, timely, and unmatched content to subscribers, including Fox Sports, Blood Horse branded weekly programs, a detailed stakes winners section, behind-the-scenes videos from Blood Horse staff, on-demand access to deeper horse statistics, and a $5 monthly credit to equineline.com. Upgrade to Blood Horse Plus today.
We have a late scratch to report in today's 7th race. In Aqueduct's 7th race, you can now scratch number 3, Chasing Cara. Scratch number 3, Chasing Cara, out of race 7.
Lady of Thornton, a chalky way to begin the day and continuing the hot hand for trainer Rob Falcone, who has 2 other short price horses on today's card. As we turn the page, maybe we'll look for a better price here in race number 2, the split divisions of this allowance race going the 7 furlongs. And we do see Ryan's Cat coming back off of the layoff, and not really that much of a trainer change, to be fair, as now Gustavo Rodriguez, who's also co-owner of Ryan's Cat, now the trainer. So obviously Gustavo's horses that he owned in partnership, once he started training at the beginning of the summer, they went to his barn. So Ryan's Cat, he got very good first off the claim for these connections, and then we saw that somewhat poor effort against a decent field back in May, and then we see the subsequent layoff. So, you know, assuming something kind of happened. Now, I did see, while you see a market improvement on form, I saw it physically with this horse as well. He just kind of turned inside out for the Rodriguez stable. And he looks much the same, kind of same disposition, a happy horse, but with the layoff in mind, he just looks a little bit soft around the edges. And while I know he ran his fastest race to date, going the 7 furlongs, I'm wondering that, is this really an optimal distance for him coming back off the bench? So we'll see what he brings to the table, though. He is your co-favorite here, as we do see early money going to Carruthers, who we'll get to in a second. But number 2, Chowda, the venerable New York bred, who will see his full younger brother competing later on in the State Florida Sandy Stakes. Chowda ran well, I mean, contesting the whole way with his brother last time out from the inside, and just kind of tiring late within the last 16th. And he gets back on Lasix today, I think, which should help him. He's run okay without it in the past, but Chowda too, I think longer might actually be better. I know he's going the 7 furlongs here once again. He just strikes me as a horse that he gets out on the front end, or is forwardly placed, and gets into his stride a little bit more comfortably when he's going longer distances. I know he's one shorter, but I just feel like his best efforts might be when getting just a little bit more ground. Though he looks great here for Gary Siaka. We'll see if this is a prelude to what we may see from his brother Lapsta a little later on. Now, Carruthers taking a lot of early money. He is obviously owned by My Racehorse in partnership, and rightfully so. The partners like to bet their horses and back their horses. Now, he's a horse that have found interesting, because I thought when he debuted in the States on the turf that actually the dirt might be a better surface for him. So we did see a little bit of an improvement from him back on December 12th, going the mile. I think too, because he's such a big, kind of robust animal, that racing into fitness might be what is happening here. So I do think we'll see another improvement. And two, going the 7 furlongs, maybe that's beneficial to him as well. But still, there's some horses just with some more concrete form in here as opposed to him. But don't get me wrong, I love what I'm seeing here once again from him in the paddock for Bill Mott. And then on the outside, we see number 12, 12th Man. Now, when adding blinkers off of a win, trainers do have to talk to the stewards to get it approved. And I spoke with Michelle Nevin, and she said that Trevor McCarthy, who is again aboard again here today, said that last time, he's just a horse that in amongst other horses, he kind of runs and stops and starts, that there's a full tank underneath of him, but he really wasn't giving him his all. So just a short cup cheater blinker applied in addition to that shadow roll here today, and a horse that I kind of felt as though last time was rounding into form, and maybe that's what we're seeing here, a horse that is getting back to some of his better races. I thought he was interesting from the outside, and I don't think he is hurt by the 7 furlong distance here either. So they are set and ready. 4 minutes to go. As we heard John Embrial say in the first race, we will have those abbreviated post-parades. We're still waiting on the jocks here, as I said, with only 4 minutes to post to today's second race.
The horses are on the track for the second race. It'll be run at 7 furlongs. Quarter-inch bend shoes on numbers 2, 5, and 7. Bends for 2, 5, and 7. Post time is in 2 minutes. One minute. Horses are nearing the starting gate. Waiting for Hold the Salsa and 12th Man. They're in the gate. Number 3, Carruthers, broke quickly out of the gate. Chowda now moves up. Sibelius is down at the rail. It's Sibelius to take the lead, and Chowda's running in second with Carruthers next in third. Ryan's Cat advances in between horses from fourth. On the extreme outside is 12th Man in fifth. Flatter Me Please in sixth. 4.5 lengths back to Hold the Salsa, who trails the field in seventh. It is Sibelius leading here by a half length, with Chowder on the outside in second, and the opening quarter was run in 24 seconds. Sibelius and Chowder, they are heads apart for the lead as they approach the far turn. And then it is Ryan's Cat, the favorite, who has moved on through now to grab third. 12th Man on the outside runs in fourth. Flatter Me Please is down at the rail. Carruthers is in between horses, and farther back, Hold the Salsa. Chowda and Sibelius, they are right together, with Ryan's Cat just off them in third. Carruthers down towards the rail in fourth. 12th Man on the extreme outside, the half. 48 and 1/5 seconds. They come off the turn and enter the stretch, and it is Sibelius who has the lead over Chowda. Carruthers gains ground down at the rail as they head for the 8th pole. It is Sibelius, Chowda, Carruthers at the rail. 12th Man moves to fourth. Ryan's Cat is back in fifth, now a 16th out. It is Sibelius, Chowda driving up on the outside. Sibelius and Chowda, they come for the finish. Very tight. Sibelius or Chowda with Carruthers in third. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold all tickets. There will be a general steward's inquiry into the start of the race. Please hold all tickets. Unofficially, number 1, Sibelius was first. Number 2, Chowda second. Number 3, Carruthers was third. Number 7, 12th Man, finished fourth. Once again, these results are unofficial, pending the steward's inquiry into the start. Unofficially, 1, 2, 3, and 7. Time of the race, 1 minute, 27 seconds. Unofficial winner number 1, Sibelius, a 4-year-old chestnut gelding by Not This Time, out of Fiery Pulpit by Pulpit. Sibelius, owned by Nash and Park, trained by Jeremiah O'Dwyer, the rider Raul Mena. Sibelius was bred in Kentucky by Taylor Brothers Properties and Pollock Farms. Results are still unofficial, pending the steward's inquiry. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a disqualification of the third-place finisher, number 3, Carruthers, for leaving the starting gate before the official start of the race. Once again, number 3, Carruthers, is going to be disqualified from third and placed last for leaving the starting gate before the official start of the race. The revised order of finish: number 1, Sibelius, remains first. Number 2, Chowder, remains second. Number 7, 12th Man, has been moved up to third, and number 6, Hold the Salsa, has been moved up and placed fourth. So the unofficial order now is 1, 2, 7, and 6. Second race now official. Second race exacta $17.50. The double $22.70. Quinella pays $8.90. The trifecta is 1, 2, and 7, $30.12. Superfecta 1, 2, 7, and 6, $28.05. In the third race, scratch number 6, Mondoose. Third race, scratch the 6, Mondoose. There will be exacta, trifecta, superfecta, double, and pick 3 wagering. Please note that jockey Omar Hernandez Moreno is off his other mounts today in race 5. Jockey change to be announced for number 11, Kid Chocolate. Rider change to be announced. And in race 7, number 8, Waylon Josie. Rider change to be announced. Here's a look now at the start from a head-on camera and the cause for the disqualification of number 3, Carruthers. He is the horse highlighted. Now, Carruthers will come out of the gate, as you will see, before the rest of the field does. As we roll the tape now, Carruthers comes out. There it is, prior to the official start of the race, thus the cause for the disqualification. One more look. The horse highlighted, number 3, Carruthers. Carruthers will come out of the gate prior to the official start and will be disqualified from third and placed last. Number 3, Carruthers, broke quickly out of the gate. Chowder now moves up. Sibelius is down at the rail. It's Sibelius to take the lead, and Chowder's running in second with Carruthers next in third. Ryan's Cat advances in between horses from fourth. On the extreme outside is 12th Man in fifth. Flatter Me Please in sixth. 4.5 lengths back to Hold the Salsa, who trails the field in seventh. It is Sibelius leading here by a half length, with Chowder on the outside in second, and the opening quarter was run in 24 seconds. Sibelius and Chowder, they are heads apart for the lead as they approach the far turn. And then it is Ryan's Cat, the favorite, who has moved on through now to grab third. 12th Man on the outside runs in fourth. Flatter Me Please is down at the rail. Carruthers is in between horses, and farther back, Hold the Salsa. Chowder and Sibelius, they are right together, with Ryan's Cat just off them in third. Carruthers down towards the rail in fourth. 12th Man on the extreme outside, the half. 48 1/5 seconds. They come off the turn and enter the stretch, and it is Sibelius who has the lead over Chowder. Carruthers gains ground down at the rail as they head for the 8th pole. It is Sibelius, Chowder, Carruthers at the rail. 12th Man moves to fourth. Ryan's Cat is back in fifth. Now a 16th out. It is Sibelius, Chowder, driving up on the outside. Sibelius and Chowder, they come for the finish. Very tight. Sibelius or Chowder with Carruthers in third.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.
We move on towards race number 3. Sibelius was best in race number 2, and give credit to Raul Mena because Sibelius got left in there, and Chowder, the horse that he beat, who has as much if not more natural speed, outbroke him badly in there, and with a passive ride on Chowder but an aggressive ride on Raul Mena on Sibelius, he was able to get the victory, and I really think the aggressiveness is what paid off. A very logical result with Sibelius and Chowder finishing 1-2 over the overbet Ryan's Cat coming off the long layoff in race number 2. Third race, tricky race. I picked the 7, who's currently favored. I'm not sure I want to run to be betting on him at a short price, but I think if you like him as I do, your hope is that this was a horse that started his career out as a solid-looking dirt horse with a lot of speed. It was a brutal beat in his debut and then stumbled badly at the start of his next race and went the wrong way. But he hasn't been on the dirt for Rudy Rodriguez, and he hasn't been on the dirt since July of 2020. So it's been a long, long time. He's had a chance to try the surface that essentially he was originally meant for. We'll see if he can find that early speed anymore, and if he can and remembers who he was. And with Trevor McCarthy, you imagine if he has speed, Trevor will look to be aggressive in a race that has a somewhat murky pace scenario. I like New York Supreme. Can understand being a little dubious. He's certainly had a lot of chances. It's been a while since he's tried the dirt. The number 3, War in Paradise, to me is the interesting alternative. More than the entry, though. The entry, you have to buck that Rob Falcone factor, which has become a real situation here where this horse is running tremendously well pretty much every time on the racetrack. But getting back to War in Paradise, hey, listen, it's probably more of a turf pedigree, but Declaration of War, the sire can get a dirt runner. And this horse is for George Abreu, for Jorge Abreu, coming back, tried the turf once, drops down. Why not? In a new face like this, thought he was a little bit interesting. As far as the entry, I know you ain't talking to me. You can't bet because you got him 11-1 and got a great ride. A 10-pound bug rider, but Alyssa Morrison gave this horse a very good ride last time and Campanose short. And one of the few Rob Falcone horses not to win, actually, as Rob Falcone is 6 for his last 8 with a second-place finish in a photo with one of his 2 losers. And at a certain point, it becomes tough to bet against this bar. And he won the first race with an overbet favorite who really ran today. Granted, it wasn't a particularly strong field. The horse he's winning with their short prices, but they're all delivering. Now, I thought Live in 5 was probably the more interesting one of the entry, getting back to the dirt, where I think this horse has just run better. But when you got the factors, we go to the 1A Live in 5, you just look at her last dry track dirt race. 54 Beyer, 57 the debut. These dwarf these other horses. So I think the 1A is the stronger half of the entry. I just don't like to bet entries, but the Rob Falcone factor at this point is tough to ignore. Moving on to the number 5, Loves Misery, finished just behind. I know you ain't talking to me. I just feel as though the 5, Loves Mystery, coming out of a weaker field. Maybe a stranger is the 2, Fortune Sister. I guess our friend Javier Castellano, he missed the freezing cold. Well, Javier, be careful what you wish for as he comes up to ride. I guess he's riding in the feature today on Lobster. And he's riding Fortune Sister, who we haven't seen since last March. So we haven't seen the horse in almost 10 months. You can say it's a rider upgrade, obviously, but I thought that Warry actually gave this horse a great ride first time out, riding a gold rail, but as a sort of new face of the crew that hasn't run in quite a while. I thought this horse a little bit interesting. You're looking for some fuzzies at a price. I like the 7, New York Supreme, over War in Paradise. Maggie's in the paddock. We'll hear from her.
Thanks, Andy. And 7 minutes to go down here as we'll take a look at the 1A part of this entry, live in 5, as she returns back to the main track. Probably the right surface for her, honestly. She's very upright in those pasterns. She doesn't really scream turf. Honestly, just looking at her, if I'm not looking at PPs, she looks best here in this field. For Rob Falcone, looking for another win here on the card. She does show up wearing the front wraps once again. She had them on 2 starts ago for that wet track effort. She's a little bit more calm today than I've seen from her in the past, as those blinkers do come off, but I don't think it's necessarily going to change anything about her running style. Again, she looks great, and I completely agree with Andy that she is by far the stronger half of the entry. Moving on to number 3, War in Paradise. She is interesting. She, a daughter of Declaration of War. The dam kind of okay on either surfaces. She has not produced anything at all. She's had 4 other foals to run, and none of them are winners. Now, she's far more together in her second start, more defined, because she is a big, kind of stuffy type of girl. There's a lot to her. So one that you assume would need to race into fitness. And 2, she's a lot more forward, engaged here in the paddock. The light bulb has kind of gone off as far as what her role is. But she looks so much more turf meant. I mean, she has a massive turf hoof, very slack pasterns. I get it. I get trying her, and maybe she can run on the surface. I just not that convinced here in the paddock. As number 2, Fortune's Sister. Weirdly one I don't have much notes to go back on here, but ran fine in her first start. As Javier Castellano climbs aboard here for Bruce Levine, I would think she's done some growing, because she's very tall and fairly athletic looking. I like what I'm seeing from her coming back off of the layoff dating back to late March. So she looks well prepared. She looks like a happy horse, a fit horse. I think she is interesting. Obviously, she's going to have to get a little bit faster here to beat some of the shorter priced horses, but she's giving me every indication here in the paddock that she might be able to do so. As we'll also take a look at number 7, that is New York Supreme here. I don't know. I mean, I guess she can run on the dirt. She looks so much more turf meant, to be honest. Again, like the 3 in here, just very slack pastern, very flat, shelly foot to her. And all 2, she just seems a bit nervous. I mean, it's cold. I will give her that. But she's shaking in here, and it's just not giving off the best impression overall. So we'll see how she does. She has had her chances, as this is her 13th start of her career. And 2, one you want to pay attention to in how Trevor McCarthy, who has great hands, handles her, because in the past, I mean, you look back at Joelle Rosario, who has some of the best hands in the game, and this filly just threw her head up in his face at every moment of that race. So one that has a very, very light mouth, and we'll see how she negotiates the kickback, and if that has any bearing on how she kind of runs with her head, and if she gives Trevor McCarthy a hard time today. As we have 3 minutes to go, jocks here in the paddock, they're on the walking ring and heading out for race 3.
In the third race, quarter-inch bend shoes on 4, 5, and 7. Bends for 4, 5, and 7. Scratch number 6, Mondoose. Race 3 is coming up in 3 minutes. Main track is fast here at Aqueduct. The horses are coming out for the third race. It goes at 6 furlongs. 2 minutes to post. 1 minute. The horses have reached the starting gate. Waiting for New York Banker and Torrens Tail. Set for race 3. And they're off. It is New York Banker, and down at the rail, I Know You Ain't Talking to Me, with Live in 5 racing in third. Now moving up is Spun for Lulu. Spun for Lulu in third. Down on the inside, Live in 5 races in fourth. And then on the outside, it is Torrens Tail next in fifth, followed by Love's Misery in sixth. New York Supreme is in seventh. Escapology on the outside runs in eighth. Then it's a break of 3 lengths back to War in Paradise. On the inside is a Fortune Sister. Bonanna Fanafo is at the back. The quarter went in 23 and 1/5 seconds. New York Banker has built a 3.5 length lead. I Know You Ain't Talking to Me and New York Supreme, those two right together, second and third. Live in 5 is down on the inside and in fourth. And then comes a Torrens Tail in a fifth, followed by Love's Misery. They head for home now. And here is New York Supreme to take over the lead from New York Banker. New York Supreme, narrow lead. New York Banker continues to battle on. The New York horses are right together. New York Banker's coming back again on the inside. It is New York Banker who regains the lead as they come on for the finish. New York Banker over New York Supreme. These New York breds were 1-2. Number 10, New York Banker first. Number 7, New York Supreme second. 1A Live in 5 was third. Number 1, I Know You Ain't Talking to Me was fourth. And if these results remain, the 5-horse Love's Misery will complete the superfecta. Again, unofficially, 10, 7, 1A, 1, and 5. Final time, 1 minute 14 and 1/5 seconds. Number 10 is New York Banker, 4-year-old chestnut filly by Central Banker, out of For the Love of Anna by Pleasant Tap. New York Banker is owned by Rigeri Stable, Sylvester, Tanny, Pontecorvo, and Scriptar Farm. Trained by Mike Maselli. A double for Dylan. Second win today for Dylan Davis. New York Banker was bred in New York by McMahon of Saratoga Thoroughbreds. Race 3 is official. The exacta, $39.25. The double pays $50.75. Trifecta, $74.25. The super, $61.05. And the pick 3 returns $214.25. Pick 6 wagering available on race 4. No carryover in the pick 6 and no changes in the 4th. In race 5, scratch the 8 Profusion. Scratch number 8 Profusion. Number 6 Scotty will be ridden by Benjamin Hernandez. Benjamin Hernandez on the 6. Number 11 Kid Chocolate will be ridden by Elisa Morrison. Elisa Morrison rides number 11 Kid Chocolate. In the 6th race, scratch number 2, Charlie 5-0. Scratch the 2, Charlie 5-0. In race 7, scratch 1, Honey Money. Scratch 3, Chasing Kara. And scratch 11, Steal My Heart. Scratch 1, 3, and 11. Jockey change on the 8, Waylon Josie to Christian Ramos. Christian Ramos is on the 8, and the weight is now 115. 8th race, no changes. And in the 9th race, scratch the 12, Cindy's Choice. Race 4 here at Aqueduct offers exacta, Quinella trifecta, superfecta, double pick 3, and pick 6 wagering. Post time is in 19 minutes at 1:48. in the rough. It is New York Banker, and down at the rail, I Know You Ain't Talking to Me, with Live in 5 racing in third. Now moving up is Spun for Lulu in third. Down on the inside, Live in 5 races in fourth. And then on the outside, it is Torrance Tale next in fifth, followed by Love's Misery in sixth. New York Supreme is in seventh. Escapology on the outside runs in eighth. Then it's a break of 3 lengths back to War in Paradise. On the inside is Fortune Sister. Banana Fanafo is at the back. The quarter went in 23 and 1/5 seconds. New York Banker has built a 3.5 length lead. I Know You Ain't Talking to Me and New York Supreme, those two right together, second and third. Live in 5 is down on the inside and in fourth. And then comes a Torrance Tale in a fifth, followed by Love's Misery. They head for home now. And here is New York Supreme to take over the lead from New York Banker. New York Supreme, narrow lead. New York Banker continues to battle on. The New York horses are right together. New York Banker's coming back again on the inside. It is New York Banker who regains the lead as they come on for the finish. New York Banker over New York Supreme. These New York breds were 1-2.
Smile Happy was a TDN rising star following his maiden win at Keeneland. From there, he captured the Grade 2 Kentucky Jockey Club Stakes to remain undefeated and earning points toward the Kentucky Derby. In future Pool 1, Smile Happy was individual leader by lowest odds. Among the top of his crop by stakes winners and earnings, Run Happy continues his rise and is priced for success. Call today and book your mare to Red Hot Sire Run Happy, standing in legendary Stall 1 at Claiborne Farm.
Resorts World Catskills, your closest casino resort experience, is so close. Stay the night and get your game on. Play live table games or thousands of slots. Resorts World Catskills.
Seemed like New York Supreme was just blowing by the field in race number 3, only to hang in the last eighth of a mile. And New York Banker, who looked beaten, came back on to win the race. Dylan Davis, his second win today, this one for Mike Maselli. Mike Maselli will have Send the Word in this race. A horse that could be forward is 30-1 right now. The one American Monarch, the heavy favorite, and he ran fine. You know, I guess there's the way race played out. He sort of, believe me, I don't, excuse me, I don't think he moved too soon. I think it played out that way. And he's probably flattered, excuse me, by the fact that Sibelius finished third, came back to win our second race. Having said that, I'm not sure I like the whole race he's coming out of. I think there's much more interesting players in here, so I'm going to try to beat him at a short price. The horse I like is the 5 Malibu Star, who ran a race that could win this race when he was overmatched, coming off a long layoff, 2 back at Keeneland, going 2 turns in a mile. Ducali, Winter Pool, pretty good horses. Then last time he got involved in the front end on a fast pace that totally fell apart. Now he's in a race where there isn't a lot of speed on paper. Perhaps Send the Word has some speed. He'll either be in front or sitting second, and I think he is in a favorable position today, and I like his chances to beat the one American Monarch. The 6 starting over is an interesting horse, going to Robbie Falcone, who did lose the last race, finishing 3rd and 4th. Only his third loss with his last 9 starters, or last 9 races he's been in, I should say. And this horse that ran credibly first 2 times in the dirt, did fine in the turf, but it's not clear this horse can't handle the dirt as well, and it's imagine why they left him in New York over the winter, and I have to consider him dangerous on paper and dangerous with this barn. The 7 Sound Money goes out for Chad Brown, and he was entered in a non-winners of 2 lifetime 40 claimer, was scratched really to await a race like this, and because he's run well enough that perhaps he's not a horse you want to lose for $40,000. I think that was more the reason he was scratched. And I don't think he's impossible. He cuts back from 2 turns to 1 turn. He cuts back in distance. He's run figures that aren't quite as good as some others here, but they're close enough to give him a chance and a rare opportunity to get a solid price on a Chad Brown runner, which is fair because he's probably, at least on paper, a little bit slow. The 3 Market Alert interests me at a bit of a price in here as well. A horse who, in general, is slower than these, but his race 2 back could beat these. Now, where did that race come from? To me, he's a horse who's always hinted at having some ability, so I don't find it that outlandish he ran as well as he did. He ran so poorly last time that I'm willing to give him a little bit of a pass, considering how well he ran last time out. So I don't think he's impossible to price, and for me, trying to beat American Monarch, I have him in the mix. But I do like the 5 Malibu Star. Maggie's in the paddock. We'll get more from her in a moment.
Thanks, Andy. And we'll take a look at that horse that Andy likes in here, number 5, Malibu Star. And I'm excited to see him contest the 7 furlongs today, because he's a horse that I've always felt as though, at least looking at him, I know his pedigree might say otherwise, looks as though he should benefit from less ground. Just a very round horse, has never really gotten any bigger, any scopier for that matter. Now that I've seen him again for the first time in nearly a year. But he is third off of the layoff here for Kelly Breen. Looks incredibly strong, very well muscled. And like I said, I like this 7 furlong distance for him. I think he can be very effective in this spot here. He's a major player, but don't get me wrong, American Monarch looks fantastic for trainer Bill Mott. As we'll also take a look at number 6, Starting Over. He might be the interesting kind of wild card in which, despite having an abundance of turf/synthetic pedigree on the bottom side, Jonathan Thomas, his original trainer, thought enough of him to start him on the dirt and was beaten by some decent horses on the dirt. So now Rob Falcone brings him back off the layoff, tries the dirt again. Why not? He doesn't look overly turf, to be honest. I think he's a little bit of an interesting player. Now, I have thought in the past that coming back off layoffs, he could look maybe just a touch stronger, and I'm kind of picking that up here, but on the flip side, he's run well off the bench before, so we'll see what he does. I think he could run well. Do I love him as a win candidate? Not necessarily, but I'll be interested to see what he does here. As number 7, Sound Money. Now, he was entered for the 40,000, was listed as a vet scratch, but you know, you always kind of take that with a grain of salt. I mean, later on in the card, there's a horse that on the scratch board is listed as a steward scratch, but she was actually a late vet scratch, so I don't know. Anyway, but looking at Sound Money here in the paddock, I don't love the fact that, yes, he was entered for that 40 a couple of weeks ago, but he looks great. This is a horse that I think is really physically well suited to the 7 furlongs, as he does turn back off that 2-turn mile and 70 at Parks, in which that was a strung out field. Davidic line just in charge the whole way, returned with a 92 buyer in his next race. I Am Redeemed came back to win as well, and Sound Money just kind of on the wide chase throughout. I thought it was a decent effort. He looks great here. It's just, why was he entered for 40? I don't know. I could be making more of it than it needs to be, but seems sharp and ready to go here for Chad Brown as we have 5 minutes to go to today's 4th race. Best of luck here.
Horses heading out for the 4th race. It'll be run at 7 furlongs. Quarter-inch bend shoes on number 8. Ben's number 8. Post time in 3 minutes. 1 minute. The horses are now approaching the starting gate. Waiting now for Fitzpatrick and Risk Profile. They're all in. And they're off. American Monarch goes well from that inside post and is out for the early lead. It is American Monarch in front with Sound Money. A close-up second. Extreme Outside is Risk Profile in third. And just in behind is Malibu Star, who is racing in fourth. And it's Fitzpatrick in fifth, followed down on the inside by Market Alert in sixth. The trailers are Starting Over and Send the Word. Sound Money has now come on through to poke ahead in front of American Monarch, and the quarter was run in 23 seconds. Risk Profile is on the outside in third. Fitzpatrick runs in fourth as the field goes into the far turn. Sound Money clear now by a length and a half. Risk Profile and American Monarch, they're right together, second and third. The Gray starting over has gained ground on the extreme outside and continues to move up. Fitzpatrick is now back running in fifth. Market Alert down at the rail. And farther back, Send the Word and Malibu Star. The half one in 46 and 3. Sound Money, the one to catch. Here's American Monarch on the outside. It is Sound Money with the lead here. American Monarch is all out in second as they pass the 8th pole. Sound Money in front by 3 now. American Monarch giving chase in second, but it will be Sound Money and Kendrick Carmouche won by 5 at the end. American Monarch was second. Risk Profile finished third. Number 7, Sound Money was first. Number 1, American Monarch second. Number 8, Risk Profile finished third. Number 3, Market Alert was fourth. Results unofficial. 7-1-8-3. 7 furlongs, 1 minute 24 and 2/5 seconds. Number 7 is Sound Money. 4-year-old bay colt by Flatter. At a Vegas trip by Aldebaran. Sound Money owned by Klarovich Stables, trained by Chad Brown. The rider, Kendrick Carmouche. Sound Money was bred in Kentucky by Lannister Holdings and Glidon Stud. Fourth race official, the Exacta, $20.90. The Double Pay, $70.50. Quinella, $8.20. Trifecta, $39.62. The Superfecta, $27.45. And the pick 3 pays $301.50. In race 5, scratch number 8, Profusion. Scratch the 8, Profusion. Number 6, Scotty, make the rider Benjamin Hernandez. Benji Hernandez rides the 6, Scotty. We have Exacta, Trifecta, Superfecta, double pick 3, Grand Slam, and pick 5 wagering. Post time is in 20 minutes at 2:18. Also in this 5th race, number 11, Kid Chocolate, will be ridden by Elsa Morrison. Elsa Morrison on the 11, Kid Chocolate. And they're off. American Monarch goes well from that inside post and is out for the early lead. It is American Monarch in front with Sound Money. A close-up second. Extreme Outside is Risk Profile in third. And just in behind is Malibu Star, who is racing in fourth. And it's Fitzpatrick in fifth, followed down on the inside by Market Alert in sixth. The trailers are Starting Over and Send the Word. Sound Money has now come on through to poke ahead in front of American Monarch, and the quarter was run in 23 seconds. Risk Profile is on the outside in third. Fitzpatrick runs in fourth as the field goes into the far turn. Sound Money clear now by a length and a half. Risk Profile and American Monarch, they're right together second and third. The gray Starting Over has gained ground on the extreme outside and continues to move up. Fitzpatrick is now back running in fifth. Market Alert down at the rail. And farther back, Send the Word and Malibu Star. The half one in 46 and 3. Sound Money, the one to catch. Here's American Monarch on the outside. It is Sound Money with the lead here. American Monarch is all out in second as they pass the 8th pole. Sound Money in front by 3 now. American Monarch giving chase in second, but it will be Sound Money and Kendrick Carmouche won by 5 at the end. American Monarch was second. Risk Profile finished third.
A Grade 1 winner on both dirt and turf, War of Will became a classic winner with this victory in the Preakness Stakes. He added turf credentials to his resume with a determined victory in the Grade 1 Maker's Mark Mile, a winner and Grade 1 placed at 2, multiple graded stakes victor at 3, and Grade 1 winner again at 4. This son of War Front has proven his class at every level. A classic winner with a stallion's pedigree, War of Will, standing at Claiborne Farm.
No sport in the world brings the wins home like racing. It's one-of-a-kind, high-speed, high-stakes action, and Naira Bets takes you there. Place your bets and watch the races live from anywhere. With Naira Bets, make easy, secure deposits and promotions every day to earn reward points or cash. Download the Naira Bets app or visit nairabets.com.
In race 5, quarter-inch bends are numbers 3, 5, 9, 11, 12, and 13. Bends 3, 5, 9, 11, 12, and 13. Scratch number 8, Profusion. Number 6, Scotty. The rider is Benjamin Hernandez. And number 11, Kid Chocolate. The rider is Elsa Morrison. Right now, 3 minutes to post. Horses are coming out for race 5. It goes at 1 mile. 2 minutes to post. One minute to post. 1 minute. The horses are now nearing the starting gate. Waiting for Scotty. Confectioner and a colt named Susie. They're all in. And they're off. There's a Macho Boy who goes out for the early lead. Striking Speed on the outside along with a colt named Susie. Then comes Respect for All, who's passed there by Mr. Briggs. Mr. Briggs is now a close-up fourth. Respect for All is back running in fifth. Forever Wicked is in between horses and in sixth. Obsessed is on the outside in seventh. Confectioner runs next in eighth, followed by LaCoya Road in ninth. Taking up there is Obsessed. Kid Chocolate is moving up on the outside. Speechin' and Teachin' is down at the rail, followed by Jacoba. And at the back of the pack is Scotty. The field is really stretched out here through a quarter in 23 seconds. And the leader here is a Macho Boy in front with Striking Speed racing in second. The half 46-2. They go into the far turn. It is a Macho Boy, the leader here, over Striking Speed in second, followed by a colt named Susie in third. Forever Wicked is on the outside and gaining some ground from fourth. And down at the rail is LaCoya Road, who has advanced into fifth. Then comes Mr. Briggs and Respect for All, followed by Kid Chocolate. They are at the top of the stretch, and Striking Speed has now taken over the lead. It's Striking Speed in front, Forever Wicked moving up on the outside into second. Macho Boy is next in third. LaCoya Road runs in fourth, followed by Confectioner in fifth. Striking Speed has a 3.5 length lead with Forever Wicked on the outside. It is Striking Speed trying to hold off Forever Wicked. They come on for the finish. Striking Speed delivers as the 9-5 favorite. Forever Wicked was second in race 5 at Aqueduct. Number 12, Striking Speed, was first. Number 3, Forever Wicked, second. 1A, Confectioner, third. Number 5, LaCoya Road, fourth. Results unofficial. 12-3, 1A and 5. The time was 1 minute 39 and 3/5 seconds. Number 12 is Striking Speed, 5-year-old Dark Bear Brown gelding by Brilliant Speed. Out of Moonlit Bay by Malibu Moon. Striking Speed, owned by Nice Guy Stables and Steve Hornstock. Trained by Rob Atras. 2 in a row for jockey Kendrick Caramouche. Striking Speed was bred in Kentucky by Jack Lebo Sr.